Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we have another should you pull video for Baal and Sezan. Now Baal and Sezan's banner should be running on the 14th of July, and he is a pretty decent PvE unit. Now he's not really that popular though to a lot of players because he does look a little weird, he looks kind of scary for some people, not waifu, and he has a very pointy chin. Kind of looks like a vampire, to be honest, and not a lot of people are a fan of its design, but he's actually not a bad PvE unit. PvP not that great, but you guys will probably realize that when we look at his skills. Speaking of which, let's actually talk about what his skills actually do, so you guys actually know what he does. So his S3 is an AoE attack that has a chance to inflict 3 debuffs: unhealable, decreased defense, and decreased speed. So yes, this is very good for PvE because not only do you have a defense break, it is also AoE, so against bosses with a lot of adds and like some hell raid bosses, such as, Secretary Vera, even the spider boss, it is very good because you can just defense break everything. And also speed down. Decreased speed works on a lot of bosses as well, meaning you can keep that defense break on the boss even longer and prevent the boss from cycling. This is only a 3-turn cooldown as well, making him very powerful in some boss encounters for PvE, and he's very underrated in my opinion because of that. Now, he does have 3 debuffs on this skill though, so you don't really want to take him into bosses that have a mechanic where if they get too many debuffs, they actually cleanse and enrage. For example, like Hell Queen, as of Act 13, you definitely do not want to take him there. There are also some Abyss floors you don't want to take him into, so make sure you actually look at the boss's skills and see if they have a passive ability that makes them limited to the amount of debuffs they can actually have. Otherwise, you can't really bring bonuses on there. Next is S2, AoE attack. This will also do extra damage proportional to the number of debuffs on the enemy, so he's very debuff oriented. There's only a 2-turn cooldown, by the way, and when you kill an enemy with this attack, the cooldown of this skill is reset. So yeah, very powerful AoE ability, only a 2-turn cooldown, and you can soul burn this for extra damage, and this does a lot of damage. In the past, before penguin mileage was a thing, people actually used Baal and Sezan as a dog walker because you have your S3 to AoE the first wave, then you S2 the second wave, and then you actually S2 again on the boss and kill the adds with it, and just S1 and pretty much kill the boss right there. So he was a very good dog walker because he has a lot of AoE, and now you don't really need to dog walk anymore because of penguin mileage system, so you don't really use him in story mode anymore, but in the past he was very good. And this ability is very nice for, like I said, bosses that have a lot of adds. He just has a lot of AoE damage, and he has a lot of debuffs that makes him scale and do more damage as well. So he's a very powerful AoE damage dealer, as you can see. And that being said, his S1 is also another AoE attack. It will attack 2 enemies and also inflict poison. Now poison will inflict the damage proportional to the target's max HP, 5% exactly. So it's very good against very tanky bosses. So you can see why he's such a really good boss killer, right? In Hell Raid, there's some bosses he really shines in if you're struggling. He's a very good option if you have him pulled or you guys want to pull for him. He's just really good against like Spider and like Secretary Vera and even the Juleeve Council as well. So yeah, a lot of debuffs, guys, makes him scale really well. He also works very well with other units that have a lot of debuffs, making him a very potent PvE AoE damage dealer with a defense break. Now PvE, like I mentioned, he's used in some Hell Raid bosses. You can use him in Golem. He's very good in Golem if you guys need a good Golem farmer. He's also very good in Automaton Tower because he has a lot of AoE. The AoE defense break on his S3 and the speed down makes clearing it very quick. And also he's extremely good in Earth Exposition. If you guys are looking for a very strong Earth Exposition damage dealer, Baal and Sezan is the best in the game, or one of the best in the game. I personally think he's the best because he has a lot of utility as well. But yeah, he's very powerful. Now in PvP, not that great. He is very reliant on sticking debuffs, and as you guys know, there are a lot of cleansers in the meta right now, and a lot of units are running effect resist, and his base stats are not that great. You're going to see that he is very squishy HP wise, so you can't really invest too much into effectiveness, but he does have effectiveness from his awakening, so it's okay, I guess. But yeah, you're not going to really use him. He's just too slow and just not too tanky enough to actually be used in PvP. So strictly a PvE unit, not used in PvP, and he's very strong in PvE in certain areas of content, especially ones where you can utilize your debuffs. Now let's look at his exclusive equipment. He recently got it, actually not recent, but a while back. But you're going to see that you have 1 for his S1, which will increase the damage, and you have 2 for his S3. So one of them on his S3 will strip 1 buff, and another one will also increase the effect chances. Now in general, guys, I just recommend the S1 one because you're going to be doing a lot of damage anyways with this, and just boosting it will do even more. Having the extra effect chance on your S3 is nice, but you know, most of the time when you're running Baal Sezan, you're going to be running another defense breaker with him. He cannot be your main defense breaker, so it's kind of wasted. You're mostly going to have defense break on the boss at all times, and unhealable doesn't really matter too much. And decreased speed, although it's very nice, is not that important. It's mostly the defense break, which is the most important. And you're going to be running another defense breaker with Baal Sezan anyways. The attack percent on this exclusive equipment is very, very good. So just run the S1 exclusive equipment as well, and he'll do a lot of damage. Is he worth pulling for, guys? Honestly, Baal Sezan, you know, pretty cool unit, but I don't really recommend pulling for him. I think if you guys already have him, he's a very decent unit to build if you're looking for a solid DPS. But if you guys don't have like Seaside Bellona, she is coming out probably in another month or so. And then, you know, if you already have Seaside Bellona, then possibly, because he's such a great DPS for Earth Expedition and Golem, like I said. But yeah, in general, I would save my bookmarks most likely, because you can always get him later on. And we do probably have a collab coming out in the fall, so you guys want to, you know, save your bookmarks for that. So that being said, you probably want to skip on this banner. Although he's a very powerful unit in PvE, I don't recommend pulling for him. Now let's talk about his artifact. So this is Baal Sezan's artifact, guys, last Teatime. It is mage exclusive, and whenever you use an attack that is AoE, you will do extra damage and have a chance to decrease your skill cooldown. So I don't really recommend using this on Baal Sezan, guys, because, you know, his S1 does a lot of damage anyways, and if you run him on the exclusive equipment for his S1, you don't really care too much about the cooldown. This artifact is not really used on Baal Sezan. You can use this on like Tenebria, Fire Tenebria for PvE, but you might as well just use, you know, like another artifact instead. I would definitely not waste my powder on this. If you have a copy, maybe you can use it on your Fire Tenebria for PvE, or maybe in like Vivian for PvE, Green Vivian, but wasting your powder on this, definitely not worth it. So this is also an easy skip. So yeah, Baal Sezan, you know, very good unit if you already have him, but I would not waste my bookmarks on him, so skip. This artifact as well is an easy skip. Unfortunately, the banners that they're releasing are not that great, so, you know, this one is an easy skip as well. So yeah, that being said, if you guys do have a Baal Sezan and you guys want to look into his build, I'll show you guys what mine is built on for Earth Expedition. So here we go, guys. This is my Fire Baal Sezan. You're going to see his build is really scuffed. Like, his collage is not even maxed out. I actually used to have him on Super Premier gear, but since expeditions have open recruitment nowadays, you don't really need to do as well, to be honest. You can kind of get carried, so I just have him on like a mediocre build. But in general, you want speed set with crit set. You want to run him on a max Cloradra for the extra damage. He does a lot of damage, and you want to aim for as high of crit damage as you can, 85% crit chance, and as high attack. He's a pure damage dealer. Having some effectiveness to land your S3 defense break is nice, but keep in mind you're probably running another defense breaker with him anyways, so it's not like too important. But if you can, aim for 80%. And for Molagora, guys, honestly, just get the turn cooldown and effect chance on his S3 if you want. S2, you don't really need any points into this at all, to be honest. And S1, if you want to get the damage up, it's very nice. But honestly, you can keep him at +0 and he does his job just fine as well. Very low investment, very powerful unit for Earth Expedition and Golem. So if you guys have him and you guys are looking to get into Golem and Earth Expedition, then this is how you want to build him. He's a pretty decent unit for those areas of content. That being said, guys, that's pretty much it for this should you pull video, guys. You know, I definitely don't recommend pulling him or his artifact. If you guys have him though and you guys want to build him for PvE, be my guest. He's very, very powerful, and I don't think you'll actually regret it at all. That being said, if you guys found this video helpful, make sure you leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.